Welcome to the Jura Life, the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian community's movers and shakers. Join our hosts, Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira Guy Nissen, as well as the Jira Amigos in the Peanut Gallery, as we sit down and discuss the latest going on in the Atlassian ecosystem. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life, the Jira Life chose us. Okay.
Hey, my camera worked.
I think this is working. I didn't break anything.
It's always nice.
Did you hit the live? Did you hit the live button? Because that's really the most important button to hit.
I hit the live button. I did that, and then I made sure that I hit the intro, and so it looked like it was pretty smooth. I didn't. My computer didn't blow up, so that's probably like the most important thing.
You need. I thought you're not on the M Max yet.
So you know, it's a thing where, you know, I feel loyal to using the computer, you know, that release team gave me, for this, and then, you know, I have my Mac Studio for other stuff. I should probably switch to that someday.
Power of M, man, is unparalleled. Unparalleled. Hello, Andy, Sean, my wife, who I haven't seen in a week. I'm so looking forward to going home. Who's our special guest here, Bob? I don't know that I've ever had a chance to meet Mr. Dan.
I have. This is the first time that I've met Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Our guest is Dan Toombs. He is the Atlassian community leader for Solent in the UK. I hope I'm saying it right.
You are. That's perfect.
Okay. And I think you're heavily involved in the Atlassian sphere. So a bit of a geography lesson for those of us that are across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Solent?
Okay,
Maybe like south.
Yeah.
It's like close to Southampton, and I don't even know where Southampton is.
Okay, so the Solent is not actually a city itself. It is a combination of cities. So it includes Southampton and its neighboring city of Portsmouth, and like the region between the two cities. I live in Southampton. We are literally smack bang. If you look at the very like southern coast of England, that is where we are. We're right in the middle. You can, like, if you look very closely on a map, you'll see like a little island, and we are next to that little island.
Oh,
Wait, are you on the island or just next to it?
No, so the island is called the Isle of Wight. I can see the Isle of Wight from my house, so that kind of tells you roughly how close we are to the island.
okay. I've heard of the Isle
That's
of Wight.
cool.
Yes, yeah. There's a big festival on there. The Isle of Wight festival that happens every year. That's usually pretty good. It's really nice in summer. It's quite like it's almost like an untouched little town. It's got, you know, it's perfect for like going and exploring on sunny days and things like that. Not that we get many sunny days in this country, but you take it when you can.
So now other people in the Atlassian community that we know about that live on that big old island nation called England or the UK, or, you know, however you want to look at it, right? Where is Southampton and Solent in relation to London, and then where is it in relation to Brighton, where Nikki and Bureau are?
Okay, so I think my camera is mirrored. Otherwise, I would try and show you. I can obviously just pull up Google Maps. So we are about an hour and a half on a train to London.
Okay.
And about an hour west of Brighton on a train. So we're fairly, you know, I can go and see Nikki and Bureau fairly easily. I mean, the only problem is our train systems are terrible in this country, so they're not great.
You apparently haven't ridden a train here in the United States. So...
I did the Amtrak once to take me up to Niagara Falls when I was traveling. I mean, it ran, which is more than I can say about half our trains. So
Sean and I got to do the BART last week, or a week or two ago. That was an experience.
Yeah.
I don't do public transit all that much, and it's I wouldn't say it's scary, but it's different. Very different.
I can understand that. Some public transport you do look at and you're like, maybe not next time.
Maybe not. My wife grew up with public transit, and it went well, as Sean says here in the chat. We were alive, so I was happy when we came out the other.
So
that was
Sean
a victory in my book.
Sean is kind of expressing the idea that traveling around these United States, it's either by car because we're very strongly car culture, or if it's far away, we're hitting the airports, we're flying.
Yeah, we just don't need to in this country. Like we're not big enough. We know that. Everyone's like, people. I mean, when I used to go away on holiday, there was a couple that lived. It was in Florida, but they used to drive from. Oh crap! This is where my state geography is terrible. But like, it was like a 15-hour drive, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine. We just jump in a car and do it." I would not do that. I would just fly. It's so much easier.
15 hours is actually my limit. If you have to stay overnight, 15 hours for me translates into me staying overnight somewhere in a hotel. And
I'm just fly. I would rather fly. It's so much easier.
Are you coming to Teams, Dad?
I am. Yeah, I fly out. Actually, I was literally just telling Bob, I fly out on the 27th and then leave on the 3rd.
Okay, and are you flying into Vegas, or are you doing like an LAX thing?
I'm flying into Vegas. Yeah, flying to Harry Reid.
Yeah, so I was talking to a couple people from Resolution, and they said that last year they flew into LAX and then drove the 4-hour drive from Vegas in and from LAX.
Yeah, it's I mean, I've done that drive when I was traveling. It's a really nice drive, but it's like the whole story about if you're in a convertible, make sure that you've got some sort of sun cream, because the amount of like sunglass marks on every single person that got out into a hotel, you're like, I can tell you drove here and I know exactly which route you took.
Great tip, because I'm actually going to drive there from my house this year. So.
Yeah, if you're in a convertible, like make sure you put some sort of sunblock on, because you don't want to be that.
Luckily, Tesla does not make a convertible, so
no. But my entire roof is all glass. It's all glass. So, but I do have the like a sun mesh. So maybe I need a lot of sunscreen, because then I'm gonna have little hexagons all over my face.
You might be all right, but definitely don't risk it. You don't want to be that person who looks like they've got glitter on their face all day.
That'll be an experience. Well, I'm excited to meet you and get to hang out.
Definitely. Yeah, no,
so Bob,
the team should be very good this year, actually. I'm really looking forward to it.
What's in the agenda today, Bob?
Well,
I haven't had a chance to look at anything.
Few items in the Tech News Roundup. I also want to kind of cover the ACE events of the week, and I'm probably going to start there just because it's kind of nice and light, and there's kind of a nice little segue to something that you did early on this morning, and that I get to feature the next happening of one of these, and so. Again, usually on the ACE events of the week, we pull it from a list on Atlassian.com, and I'm going to throw that URL into the comments. Hopefully, it will for that list, and it's usually an up-to-date list. The first one. Is something that Alex would probably go to if he were thinking about, well, actually, if he were back in time. And that is,
what in the world are you talking about? San Diego. Oh, is that?
I'm talking about San Diego. San Diego is actually having a Lean Coffee event in person later on this evening. So. If you were back, in time, you probably would make yourself available. You would probably need as much of the coffee part of that Lean Coffee. So,
let me tell you, that last try was long. I don't supercharge very often, and we had to stop to supercharge on that trip. Because I signed up for this the last event that I attended in San Diego. I signed up when I lived in San Diego, and I did not realize just the length of driving through traffic from like the LA area to San Diego. Much worse.
Someone from that doesn't obviously do that drive very often. How many hours / miles is that drive for you?
So miles wise, it wasn't too bad, but it was about 110 miles each way. Right. So it's like 220, 230 for the round trip.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to put that into perspective for like actually how far up the country I would be.
Yeah.
I did 100.
It took us. Yeah. The killer part was the traffic on the way in, but because on the way back it was cruising. I was going like 80, 85 miles per hour on the way back, and so we got home in record time. I also got to give Sean a ride to the hotel, so that was fun. Fun little fact too, which I got to share with the people in the room. The San Diego community, that specific ACE, that was the first ACE event I ever went to when I first moved to San Diego 7 years ago.
And it's still going strong, right? I think the leader there is Greg, right?
No, Mark.
Mark Livingstone.
Livingston, yeah.
Yeah. So also
to tip me.
Also coming
I'll
up.
send you my Venmo.
Also coming up in Nairobi, Kenya, there is going to be a high velocity ITSM event. So our friend MK, Michael, is keeping it busy down in Africa with kind of a large gathering all about ITSM and how JSM can help out. And because we didn't get to it last week, and we didn't mention that you had an event this morning, the live learning series is continuing on. Alex kind of kicked it off, or at least I know of, kicked off the March cohort early this morning with getting started with Jira Software. Jimmy is kind of coming up on the 11th and talking about getting started with Atlassian certifications. This session, he is covering the dreaded ACP 120, the Jira Administration for Cloud.
Did you hear? I don't know if you have it on the agenda here, but did you hear about the new live trainings that Atlassian is experimenting with?
Well, those are the ones that Gal's been doing.
If you have details, please spill.
So we are doing in-person ones. So there's going to be one in Amsterdam that's going to be led by Kate, who's the app physio gal. Mm-hmm. And then there's going to be one in San Francisco led by Rob. So they're experimenting live ones. And jokingly, we're trying to see if we can get a live one in Sydney. Where we go to Sydney.
See, that would be the situation that might require a passport, Alex, and a visa, according to Mark.
I am aware of the situation, so situation is being worked on. Although, just out of spite, I might just not do it just to piss you off.
I get no emotion one way or the other, whether or not you.
I just don't know that I want to get a passport, because if I get a passport, I know that you're just going to be like, we got him to do a passport. And now out of just principle, I don't want to get a passport to not give you that pleasure.
Well, it's not me just saying this. It's if you can see, it's Sean.
It's the whole peanut gallery.
It's the whole peanut gallery. They're behind me 100%. I mean,
in the peanut gallery, let us know, should I get a passport so I can go to Sydney?
I think so far we got one. I think we've just discovered our next LinkedIn poll. Tune in later for that.
Dan, you are in the UK. How often do you use your passports?
A lot.
The man goes to team. The man takes the channel. He's got to.
I take it back. Yeah, I take it back, because I guess to get off the island, you need a passport. But here, We can travel within our big, massive land without.
Technically, I can get off the UK without needing a passport because technically I could go to Gibraltar.
Really?
I don't need a passport to go into Gibraltar. We own the island, so we own that tip of Spain.
So you can go to anywhere that is owned by.
So I could, if there was a direct flight, there isn't. But if there was a direct flight, I could go all the way to the Falkland Islands without needing my passport. Because technically, it's UK. So, well, actually, I don't know about the Falkland Islands. But I know the Gibraltar we can.
So is it just parts that are still part of the British Empire, or are we talking like anywhere in the Commonwealth? Because
no, so Commonwealth doesn't count.
Commonwealth doesn't count. Okay, so no trips to Canada, no trips to India.
Yeah, can't go to Australia without needing a passport. Definitely need that. But the parts that are still under British rule. God, this is to test my knowledge. As far as I'm aware, I do not need my passport. So I could, in theory, there are actual direct flights straight to Gibraltar. So I could fly to Gibraltar.
Look who joins us, the legend himself.
I literally just walked in the door.
Well, that's dedication.
We're committed to this podcast here, Dan, in case you haven't pictured it. We're like, I'm in the middle of an airport. Rodney's breaking every speed limit rule there is in Atlanta.
and no, I wish I was.
I was going to say, it didn't sound like you were getting very far, to be honest.
No, to be fair, I left the airport. Me and my wife left the airport at 2:45. It is 11:15 now. I'll let you do the math. We had no stops in between.
Yeah, you had a fun day.
You might as well just move to California at that point, since it's the same traffic, but much better weather.
I mean, earthquakes.
Oh my gosh, I'm in Florida. Apparently there's no earthquakes in Florida. And the building, like the window shakes on me. And usually when we get hit with the earthquake, like the window shakes a little bit and then you get hit with the earthquake. And I was like, I was waiting and everybody's like, what happened? I'm like, the window just shook. They're like, so? I'm like, usually a loud boom comes up after that. So,
yeah,
I guess I'm in California. You could tell that I was from California in that meeting. All right, so next up, I don't know if we have this in the agenda either, Bob, but didn't Atlassian just introduce a new little high velocity event that we're going to be having to go, speaking of needing passports to London? I think I got an email. I think I was scrolling real quick.
New York, Munich, and London.
Yeah.
I saw that. So
they probably just announced that.
They just came out today.
Yeah.
Did you only see it today? Did you get an email today?
I got an email today, and so I'm like, dang, maybe I do need a passport so I can go.
I mean, you should come over. There's a good one over here.
I mean,
the high velocity stuff has been out for a little while now.
You're just now figuring out you need a passport? We've been saying that for how long now?
Can you calm down? You know what I'm also excited for? I know it's going to be the new LinkedIn. I'm also excited for what is currently out for delivery is my Edgell's barbecue sauce.
That's good stuff. I will tell you that. It's really, really good.
And I also now have a limited edition copy of Safe DevOps or whatever the title of your book is.
Barbecue
Which
DevOps.
I need to remind me to take it to Teams so I can get it signed.
Bring it to Teams. I'll autograph it.
Maybe take a picture too, like
Oh yeah. So I gave an autograph copy to Mark, and there's a picture of that, and that I sent to him. So like a selfie with that. So yeah.
I'm excited. All right, what's next? The New York event was yesterday. I'm assuming Andy, since you're in Vegas, you probably didn't go to it.
Andy would have had to bend space and time to attend something in New York and Las Vegas, where he is currently. So I believe that would be a no.
Is it possible though? Maybe, but it's doubtful.
Andy's got my back there, so he's. But I think now that Rodney's here, I know that Rodney kind of hyped this up. Another thing that went on yesterday was Team Tour Government 24, and that's where Rodney was at.
Indeed,
more than 24 hours ago. So I'm going to sum it all up in one question. How'd it go?
I mean, it went great. It said there's news not only for the government folks, but for some of the non-government folks. There was cloud news. There was data center news. I'm trying to get it all pulled up on the side screen because, as I said, ladies and gents, literally just walked in the door. But I think the big thing that came out, at least from my perspective, the largest thing that came out is for Jira Software, Service Management, Confluence, Bitbucket, Bamboo, and Crowd data center versions. All 6 of them are having platform releases.
Wow.
Which means if you have to test upgrades, you're going to be pulling your hair out this year.
Yeah, this is a big thing. They're kind of, they've been looking at making all of these products on a common platform. This is just getting one more step closer to that.
Yeah.
So that, and this is obviously happening on the data center. Does this mean that the tools are going to be talking as much as, or as close as they do in cloud? Probably. You just have to test it out. But yeah, it's due to be coming out sometime in the 2024 timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, who are not in the cloud already.
Well, speaking of those who are not in the cloud already, the second bit of news that was really ground shaking was FedRAMP. Now,
Wait, but you're okay with ground shaking, but not when there's an earthquake?
Yes. If I know reason it's shaking, I'm fine with it. If the Earth just decides they don't like us today, I'm not fine with it.
I mean, you're going to know why it's shaking. It's tectonic plates.
It's Poseidon. Let's face it, it's Poseidon.
I'm sorry.
But seriously, again, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. I suggest you take this with a grain of salt. But I know there's a lot of federal people that are looking at the cloud infrastructure and cloud features and salivating. FedRAMP Moderate is set to go live January 2025.
Wow. They actually gave a date.
They actually gave as close to date as we could expect. Now,
wait. Did you say what? February?
January 2025.
So you're telling me we're like 9 months away.
Atlassian's telling you that. I'm telling you this is the federal government, so you probably need to add another year to that.
Or 2, or 3.
So can I just ask, so FedRAMP Moderate, what's the difference between, what are the other levels, or is that going to happen, or how much was released?
We just want a FedRAMP, honestly, in my opinion. But
I do. I'm literally, like, half our company is stuck on data center and don't want to be there. So,
Bob, that's probably a better question for you.
Yeah, I'm aware of actually 2 levels. Moderate is if you want to say it's the lower level, and I think as far as the United States federal government is concerned, this would have security, privacy limitations just to on most government agencies. The real one that is that some agencies are looking at is called FedRAMP High, and High is even stricter security, and that's the one that I would expect would be required by things like the Department of Defense, NASA, anything that is related to either defense or has in the U.S. what are called strict ITAR regulations and concerning the export of technology.
right.
So that's that's really just kind of the two levels that I know about. Sean's got moderate, ludicrous, and plaid. So.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We're just waiting for Fed Rep Plaid.
And this is where I'm going to make my push for Alex to actually go see Spaceballs, even though it is an 80s science fiction comedy.
I am not taking movie recommendations from you after you made me.
I did not make a recommendation for you to see 2001: Space Odyssey. So and
somebody on this call did.
Well, wasn't me, and I have voluminous tape to prove it. So.
That's the worst, 45 minutes of my life.
I probably would have said something to the effect of, don't see 2001 Space Odyssey unless you had ingested some items that are...
You know what? I think it was Andy. You know what? But the dumb thing is, like, you think I would have given up after staring at a black screen for 8 minutes. I was just so curious to see if there was anything beyond in the next second.
By the way, 2001 The Space Odyssey did not come out in the 80s. It was much earlier.
Yeah.
I know. But still, I'm not taking movie recommendations from anybody involved in this thing. You guys are the worst. I did watch Ferrari. I really like that one. Stick to more modern movies. What's next,
I think you would like Spaceballs. For once, it doesn't have 7 minutes worth of black screen.
It doesn't. It just has a plaid screen for about 30 seconds. I'm gonna go into this one news item. This is gonna make a certain number of people. Actually, this might involve you, Dan. I don't know. Atlassian announced data residency in the following 8 regions: Singapore, Canada, the UK, Japan, India, where our quizmaster friend Sajit Nair has been anxiously waiting for, Brazil, South Korea, and Switzerland. So it is now at a point where on the Atlassian cloud, you can specify where that your Atlassian data stays in those particular 8 regions if you need them.
I mean, I'm looking forward to when they fully offer for all marketplace apps to follow.
That's true, and actually, I think that's actually coming to if your apps are
Forge.
Are Forge.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. There's definite. There are some great apps, but where some of them are Connect, you have to obviously for certain areas like still there. But I mean, these are all really good steps in the right direction. Certainly freeing up probably a lot of people's aches and pains about trying to move to the cloud. So I mean, these are all positive things. It just takes time.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm totally not going through all the slide decks on the other screen, trying to get the newsworthy items.
Just working out what you need to show. I like it.
What's next? Should we jump into some interview questions?
Let's talk a little bit more about Dan. Let's find out more about Dan.
Dan.
You know where he's from. He's from Southampton, even though it says Solent and on the Atlassian community.
So I can talk about that when you ask about the Solent stuff, because that's interesting actually.
Well, let's go there.
Okay. We can start.
Enlighten us, Dan. The floor is yours. Enlighten the community.
So I've been in the Atlassian ecosystem. Oh my god, I've been in 8.5 years, almost. It's climbing up to 9 now. I started at a solution partner, a platinum solution partner, back when I was like 20, which is semi-scary to think about. When I was coming in, I never was a university student. I hated studying. I would do it just to get the grade and then hate my life. So never one for school. So coming out fresh out of our college or high school, straight into a job was definitely for me. But I got trained as a consultant, loved it, ended up really, really enjoying it, that I wanted to, for some reason, go to end customers and deal with Atlassian directly. which is always fun. But yeah, I mean, and I've been doing that kind of ever since, going from customer to customer, helping them with all their use cases and stuff like that. But I've been, a community leader since I think August last year. I noticed all the community leader stuff at my first team, which was the one straight after COVID. That was my first in-person team ever. And I went to there, and obviously they rope off certain areas just for community leaders. And, as you kind of do, curiosity and stuff, you're like, oh, what's over there? I want to go and have a look.
Yeah, ask Alex about that.
I will. But, it's always good to kind of like look. And I started asking a few Atlassians and just said, can you tell me more about it? Obviously I've used the community a lot over my 8 odd years. And they told me more and more about the program and what community leaders are like and things. And last year I actually decided to, at team submitted my my registration and submission for becoming community leader, and it was finally accepted in August last year.
Bless your soul, because they don't let me in.
well, Alex, he went the easy route. He's a local community leader. You're trying to be an online community leader.
Dude, if I go local, all I'm gonna have are cows showing up.
But I have
horses too.
Yeah, gotta take those horses
too, right?
But no, becoming an ace is much easier because they want to run community events more than they want online community members. So I would definitely.
I will tell you that I've participated in a few community events just over the last couple of weeks, and I don't know that people are ready to come back yet.
I don't know. We tend to get pretty good turnouts over here.
Yeah,
tell us about your ace, the ACE events that you've held so far.
So I held the first one in literally August. It was the launch event. We actually had a pretty damn amazing year for weather last year. So I wanted to make sure that we were trying to do it somewhere sunny and stuff like that. Typically, and I'm semi-glad that I didn't choose an outdoor venue because it rained that day. So that was lucky, which is typical. But we had, we held it in like what was an abandoned church that they turned into a restaurant. So it was like really overly lit. It was really cool, actually. But yeah, I ran the launch event. We had Chris Cook from OSS. He came and did a talk. And we had Effie Code, another partner. They came and did a talk. So we've had that. We've had Haiku, which I think some of you guys will know. From like SaaS Backup Solutions. They've come and done stuff. What else have we had? We've had Jira Product Discovery specific talks. We've had integration talks with JSM and things like ServiceNow from Ziggy Wave. We've had like some really good talks. We even ran, our latest one was just on AI. So not even AI within Atlassian, just like how on earth we've ended up into kind of like the position we have, and how we're using AI and how it's developing like people's workloads and stuff like that. So that was a really, really good talk by someone called Lewis Lovelock, who's the global head of technology from Efficode as well.
Well, I really need to get a passport, and so I can, you can bring me over.
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely come over. We can make sure that we do some sort of TGL session. Love that.
You heard that? That means the other two guys also.
They've all got.
I mean, I've already got my passport. So.
I was going to say these two have passports. I'm pretty sure you're the blocker.
I'm not the. I wouldn't call it the blocker as much as I would call it the delay. I mean, I can get.
No, you're a blocker.
You're a blocker.
We use agile terminology here.
Look, guys, up until this point, and I know I've explained this multiple times, but up to this point, I had a top secret security clearance. So traveling outside the U.S., not the most ideal thing to do. And two, I just didn't see the point of spending $130 every, 10 years for just sitting in my drawer. I didn't have a reason to leave. So maybe now I do.
You've had a reason to leave for the past year, though, and you know it.
Maybe.
There's so many cool places to see.
Only one person has invited me over to an event.
Oh,
We'll make that too.
Ready,
you know, I'm helping heat up the Phoenix Ace, so to speak. So we may
But I don't need a passport to go to Phoenix.
Well, you don't. I can
Well, I
help you.
mean,
fill
I
out
know
the
Andy has
application.
invited you over.
I don't know that Andy's invited me to the Big Apple.
I'm not about the other one.
Fun man.
Oh, fun man. Dude, that would be something. I wouldn't mind going over there.
I mean,
No, maybe I do.
again,
I wonder
Amsterdam.
if I'm gonna
There's so many
start.
great places. You got to come to Europe.
If I'm gonna go to Europe, it's gotta be like England because I want to be able to read the damn signs.
You know, most European countries do have English written under their.
That's what
language.
they tell me.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me until I'm in dire need
And
of a
also,
rush and I can't find one.
Isn't there another language you speak, at least partially?
Yeah.
Actually, what are you talking about? I speak Spanish very fluently.
And
You know,
isn't there
we
another
do-
country that speaks it over there?
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife if we do community events in the Inland Empire, all I'm gonna do is have like cows show up and horses.
Oh wow.
Maybe I can get guys on cow or guys and girls on horses to show up. It is very interesting to see like people on their horses and like going to the post office and stuff.
I love that. Just so not what you would see here.
I moved out of San Diego and I went out to the boonies, but it's kind of cool. I like it. The smell gets to you though. It's an acquired taste.
I used to live on a farm. I'm very used to the smell.
Yeah. No, I'm my whole family. We're city folk. All right. What is next? What else? So Dan, I don't know that I actually know where you work. I've been listening, and I don't know that I've heard it yet. So what do you do? Like what?
So
What does your 9 to 5 look like?
I work. Technically, now I work for a company called Viasat, which I'm sure you probably have heard of.
I have because I live down the street from Viasat's HQ.
There you go. So I work for Viasat. Viasat acquired Inmarsat, which is effectively like
I've used Inmarsat too in my Northrop aircraft.
perfect. There you go. So yeah, I worked for Inmarsat. We were officially acquired last year. So yeah, I'm technically now with Viasat. I am kind of like one of two dedicated resources to running their Atlassian ecosystem for like 12,000 odd people. So,
nice. Yeah, I interviewed and got a job at Viasat. Turned that job offer straight into Northrop, and Northrop countered me, and I stayed with Northrop. But I've always wanted to work at Viasat, mainly because the HQ here in San Diego had an indoor slide that everybody liked going down.
the perks, not the job, the slide.
Right, just the slide. But yeah, if you're ever in San Diego, let me know.
Yeah, I will. Actually, to be honest, straight after team, there's a high chance I'm in San Diego.
Yeah, well, let me know. Yeah, I live. Well, I used to live up to like a month ago. I used to live on the street that Viasat's on.
Oh, really?
Straight, like it's like 7 miles, but it's just a straight shot down.
Nice, bro.
No, like 7 or 9 miles away.
Yeah, but I work for them. I mean, it's like every, Atlassian admin, architect, consultant. It's all a lot about trying to coach and educate teams, and then obviously you just do some of the doing in between that.
And then, so what made you want to become a community leader?
That's a really good question. Apart from being and having all that curiosity at team, when I actually started to find out more about kind of the program, I realized how selfish I'd been over the last 8 years of just consuming so much knowledge and probably rarely putting back. So I decided that kind of enough was enough, and I wanted to change that. So I signed up and I chose to run local community events. Where I live, about an hour and a half outside of London, it was easier for me to actually like set up something outside, because something you'll very quickly discover if you do come here is that while everyone pretty much travels into London for work, about 90% of the people don't like doing it and would rather not do it. So London is or was
I was going to say, that's when you know where you live in a spot on place.
Yeah. So they will travel London because London wage, London work life, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people don't want to. And London was the most southern for a really long time. So, but now we've got Bristol, we've got the Solent, which both Southampton and Portsmouth had their own until we realised that actually we were kind of pulling from the same people for the same events. So we just decided to kind of join together. They're setting one up, as far as I'm aware, like down Cornwall, like Devon area, so like right in the southwest. Manchester's propped up. There's one in like Glasgow or Edinburgh now. So like they're popping out kind of all over the place, which is cool.
all of you just got to set one up wherever there's a football team, no?
Yeah, I mean that's a great idea. As long as there's a football team, there's probably at least a few dozen people that use Jira.
And I'm proud that I'm using the correct.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you because so many people don't.
It's anything beyond Ted Lasso is outside my Ted Lasso or bust.
That is like peak American when the people know football from Ted Lasso. I love it.
That's the only thing I know about football is because anything that's in Ted Lasso.
That's fine. I'll take it. You're watching footy. It's good.
So yeah, that does mean that if I use this baby to make my trip over to the island, you're gonna have to take me to the real Richmond.
I can take you to the real Richmond. I can take you to the pub. I can take you to the ground, the fake grounds. I can take you to West Ham where they play. I can even take you to a live game if you want.
Oh, see.
It sounds like we just got to do a TJL on tour, man. We need a Euro.
No, we do. We just got to find the right sponsor for it.
I'll tell you what, there's probably quite a few people that would do it. If you spoke to a load of partners and did it as a way of them sponsoring events as well, I bet you they would do it.
Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. We gotta get Funman Andy involved because I think Andy's got a little bit more domain on that side of the hood.
Yeah,
or a little bit more influence, I should say.
But no, there's if you definitely did a European tour, doing London, the crew out of London's very good. Obviously, come here. There's actually, we've got a decent crew here. We've got 2 solution partners based out of Southampton, so that's always good fun as well. Amsterdam's great fun. Definitely go over there. Go over to Berlin, Munich. I mean, if you speak Spanish, you should definitely be going to Spain at least.
Yeah, I'm torn though between Madrid and Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I'd say Barcelona because I have some friends over there.
Barcelona.
It's a more beautiful city.
Yes.
But Dizer.
Yes.
Them.
Yeah,
Where's
Fetty? Where's Fetty? Fetty's in Madrid, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have to make a side trip.
But then remember, Lemec is not in either, and he invited us there too.
There's some decent partners based out of Italy. You could always I would definitely go to Italy. Yeah.
I think we just got to do a whole Euro trip.
And I'm going to gain so much more weight. I'm sorry. My first thought with we're naming all these places is, ooh, they do this.
They do good food.
So maybe we gotta do a Japan tour because I swear, like, if I go to Japan, I will not. I don't know that I can eat anything. I took 4 years of Japanese, and the whole time I was just looking at Japanese food. I'm like, other than sushi, I ain't going in, man.
I'm not a sushi lover. I can't eat it. I can't do it.
Yeah. Where you at with your Mexican food?
Oh, I love Mexican. I'll eat loads of Mexican food.
Yeah.
Yeah. We very lazily signed up to HelloFresh recently, and one of the first things we did is only because I couldn't be bothered to cook for ages. But one of the very first things we did is I looked for the Mexican food because I don't get that enough. So we had tacos, burrito bowls, loads of stuff.
So then, when you do come to San Diego, you gotta let me know because I gotta make sure you hit
get real tacos.
Yeah, definitely.
Although I will say that.
Do you have hard shells or soft shells?
Tortillas is what we use. Tortillas. Neither.
Oh,
There you go. Showing my lack of Mexican knowledge in terms of food now.
Yeah,
one thing that I was going to ask Dan about, and as we talked before the show, I'm actually throwing back onto the agenda, at least for this week, our app of the week. And this one Dan has heard about. This one is called Nutshell for Confluence. What it allows you to do is it allows you to create summaries in Confluence through AI. And I don't think that's the only thing that it does, but it's a very recent addition. It was created during the Codegeist hackathon. And it actually won within the past week. It won the Customer's Choice Award from Codegeist. So just thought
the app actually, I've not had in terms of like too much exposure. It's not something that right now like I can have for like work wise, but the app is awesome. When I've tried it out before, so you can like get it to watch a video for you and then paste a summary into the page, and that way, so you think if you do like all hands for companies or anything, or you have loads of onboarding videos, summarizing those videos will save a lot of time for a lot of people.
I didn't finish my story.
I'm sorry.
I did a taco bar for my interns one time when I was at Northrop, and I brought a couple of different meats, and the interns goes like, "Wait, where's the ground beef?" And I'm like, Mexican tacos don't usually have ground beef. We usually have like real meats. Why does Sean want to go to Kenya so badly? What's the inside joke that I'm missing?
Apparently, he feels bad about missing the high velocity ITSM. He'll go to any high velocity ITSM now. If it's New York, London, Kenya, doesn't matter.
I mean, Sean, I know I just got back from Team Tour, but if you want me to go to Kenya, I will not complain too heavily.
The suitcase is still packed.
I'm still packed. Yeah.
No, you guys are funny. Well, we got another 10 minutes left or so. So, Dan, what else can we learn about you?
Actually, what are you doing these days? I hear you're doing a blog.
Yeah. So God, this goes back a really long time. I was writing for a solution partner. I started writing for a solution partner about 4-ish years ago, right in the first bit of lockdown for us. And it was meant to be just filling the gaps because they didn't have enough content writers available because of COVID. So I was just helping out. And then I actually kind of started to find a bit of a groove and started actually enjoying it. I'm not on Rodney's level. I don't think that's probably a step that I can't go to, but I do enjoy writing every now and then. So maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, if I can stretch it, I will write something. So I've started doing like ICYMIs because there are so many updates into the community that things just get missed. So ICYMI is always great. And I will choose a topic at random, whether it's some sort of functionality or something I'm a bit passionate on, and try and write something on that as well.
I mean, that's really the way to do it.
Oh, you found this? Oh, God.
I found it.
Jesus.
So we've got a nice little countdown here on the homepage, and
yeah, there's actually I've got 2 blogs that I've literally just finished writing about team experience, need to knows if it's your first time, what you should be packing, and like expectations, because I think that's always, it's certainly for my first team. I had such high expectations of like certain things existing, but it just wasn't the way. But I still had a great time and learned a lot. So, definitely keep an eye out.
I mean, I know last year was Alex's first team event he went to. So
how did you find that, Alex, for your first?
So I wanted to go to Summit since 2016. I just never had a job that paid for it. And my current line of work allows me to be very, very heavily involved in the Atlassian ecosystem. So it made sense for me to be there. I just wasn't expecting. So I had been to dozens of conferences over my career. I never went to a conference and didn't actually go to the sessions until team. And it was great.
My fault.
It was the greatest thing. Like the Jira Life came out of that. Right? Like that's where we recorded our very first episode. And just getting to know people. And so this year I'm most excited about just like literally talking to people.
To be honest. Go on, Rodney.
Yeah, I should note here, especially for those who haven't heard it, obviously Alex is part of the Atlassian Creator Program. We worked very hard to get him into that, so he's part of that. This year, the community workshop is being merged with the creators, so I don't have to sneak him in this year to the community workshop.
Alex can go through the front door this time around.
Yeah, I don't have to try and open the side door.
I'm so happy though, because
this has been
my whole life.
Yeah, mad shout out and props to Lauren.
Yes.
Special thanks to Lauren. I have yet to meet her in person or anywhere. Other than that 30 seconds I dropped in. I am very, very extremely thankful for Lauren. She is truly a great gal over in the Atlassian team and definitely represents the Atlassian values.
Mm-hmm. So
we have there's some decent talks on this year. I've had a very quick scan through the session list. There's some actually decent stuff on. So
you won't see us on there.
Well, I will see definitely one other person on there from this panel.
Yes, you will.
Say it. Are we allowed to talk about this yet, or
I think it's a permission and forgiveness issue. So if everyone's going to be mad, they're going to be mad at me. So me and Dan are both working with Appfire to be on a panel. It's going to be a lunch and learn session. I think it's Wednesday, but I don't remember for sure if we have a date yet.
I don't know. Actually, that's the one thing I haven't seen.
But yeah. Also, our one of my friends and former colleagues, Daryl Lee, is going to be on there as well. Who's the other gentleman that's going to be on?
That's a Tyler Wolstenhume. So Tyler is the rep from Appfire. Really great guy. He's great MC. So really good at trying to probably keep me on track rather than you. But I like to
ramble with the best of them.
Yeah, I mean diving deep into a subject, and Tyler's like, let's just come back and we'll carry on. But no, he's a really good guy, and he still knows a lot of stuff about Atlassian.
Meanwhile, Dan, if you see one of those Atlassian A's on stage, expect me to probably be inside of it.
Nice.
I'm going to try to sneak my way onto the stage without getting kicked out of teams.
Yeah, try it.
Alex, if you get kicked out of the team, we're going to sneak you back in.
Yeah.
Might require him to shave his mustache off or something.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Where was it? I went somewhere one time and I got something free, and I went took off my sweater and went back in. And I was like, "That's a whole different person." But we will have our sombrero, so maybe I do something with the sombrero on and then put it on somebody else.
Put it on me. Watch me run away.
Or not. So we got a few minutes left. Do we want to go into our Quizlet?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we do.
We can do Quizlet.
Dan, are you ready?
Quizlet.
Yeah. Sure.
Are you aware of what's about to happen to you?
No, I've apart from the messages that you sent me, no.
All right.
So this is going to be a great experience. I'm really ready for it.
Our quick Quizlet is going to be 5 questions. They're either going to be A or B, or they're going to be a hot take question. We got a good mix this time of them. We want your immediate answer as soon as possible.
Okay.
And then you can kind of explain if you want to, but we want your first answer to be your first thought.
Oh, geez. Okay.
No pressure, but all the pressure.
Okay. This is the one that I want to win. Not my ACPs I'm literally about to take, but this one. This is what counts.
ACPs are nothing compared to this.
This could be harder than the ACP exams. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So your first one, Dan, is a Pop-Tart an offshoot of a beef Wellington?
No, not a chance.
What the heck is that?
Wait. I mean, it's pastry. There's filling. You're telling me they're not related?
Okay, well then, in the same way, a sausage roll is a Pop-Tart.
I mean, isn't it?
No, a Pop-Tart. First of all, like a Pop-Tart is sweet, right? It is a breakfast thing. It's covered in what, like icing sugar and like sweet strawberry jam and all that kind of stuff. A beef Wellington is literally a fillet of beef with mushroom, pate, crepe, rolled in pastry, baked for like 45 minutes. Is the best thing in the world. They are not Pop-Tarts.
Is it a breakfast food? I've never even heard of this.
No. Beef Wellington is definitely a dinner.
No.
You
Hey,
buy.
man, I eat Taco Bell for breakfast, so what do I know?
No, if you do it properly, like as in like you're a restaurant and do it properly, you buy an entire fillet of beef, you braise it, you cover it in mustard, you like ground mushrooms, pate, the lot. You roll it up, and it's just like you literally get just a solid piece, and you cut it into the bits that you need. It is amazing.
For Alex's sake, probably the closest analogy using Taco Bell food is a steak crunch wrap.
Makes sense. All right.
Okay.
All right. So second question here, and this one may get you in trouble.
Okay.
This one may get you called out at Team 24. So I'm warning you now. Jira or Trello?
Jira.
Poor Brittany. I don't think
Are
Brittany
you
got a
listening to
single
this?
person on her team.
No, I
Is
like
anybody even on Team Trello?
I like Trello, not for work.
So
For personal, yeah, but not work.
So I'm going to kind of interject a small word here as kind of producer and booker of the of guests and things like that. Next week we actually might be talking about a Trello controversy. So you guys might want to tone down the hate.
I mean,
or double down because
I'm using Trello.
I'm not.
This is literally my packing list from the week. So
I can't believe you put things like
could have done this in Jira work management.
A very detailed packing list: conditioner, beard trimmer, all of the things. This is the things that I would not think about.
Well, this is the thing. I have a master packing list that I keep up to date, and like everything I forgot on a trip, it gets added on there, and then I'll just make a copy of it for a specific trip, and that's the one I use.
So you're so much more. The only thing that I keep together at all times are my visas, my passport. Everything else, I will pack the night before, and if I haven't got it, like basically all I look for is like the minimum I need is a phone and a wallet, because everything else I can buy if I need to, and if I forget it, oh well, I can't.
Dan, we're not in your tax bracket, man.
No, it's not a tax bracket. That is just I do not have the time to sit there and try and work out what everything I need.
Here's the thing, and I don't know, Dan, if you'll get this, but I know at least Alex and Bob should. When I was in college, and the Eagle Scouts, who were my friends, would forget something, they would come to me because I'd likely have it. And I did not live on campus.
Ronnie's a Swiss Army, walking Swiss Army knife.
I am. I was at least.
How do you have everything? Why would you have everything?
Because in case I might need it, and well, most stuff.
I did just buy a nomadic backpack that is like 20 liters and can store like a bunch of stuff because I'm done with just a regular school backpack. I'm going for the professional level backpack.
That's fair.
There we go.
All right, so we're running out of time. We're eating up our time here, so let's get a move on here.
Yep.
Pair programming or code reviews?
What was the first one? Sorry.
Pair programming or code reviews?
I'd probably say code reviews. It's probably just more about what I probably have done in the past, and that's probably swaying my answer, but there's no real choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you're you're comfortable with a pull request and things like that?
I mean, I've definitely, I wouldn't say I'm not a developer, but I definitely do it. I have to in order to keep certain automations up to date. You know, we still work with a production set, and then we still pull everything down into test environments and do things properly. So I'm just more familiar with like still having to submit things, check them out, and that kind of routine.
All right. So next question. You need to finish this sentence. I transition my Jira issues by
Dragging and dropping.
He's a bored person. He's a bored person.
The JSM peeps are going to have to be disappointed.
I do spend a bit of time in JSM, but I spend more time on a software project.
Hey, we just got boards in JSN recently, so
yeah.
Yes, and you get calendars on EAP now.
I heard Trello's
right.
getting calendars too now. No, Brittany had something that she posted recently.
No.
Yeah,
We'll be talking
but
about it
as
next
said,
week, so tone down
we
the
should-
Trello hate, guys.
Yeah, we should wait till next week to talk about Trello.
Tomorrow,
So-
next week, I'm gonna wear my anti-Trello shirt. Watch, just for you, Bob.
Boy. So last question here. This one is
Look at
for
the
all
top
the marbles. Your entire public reputation rides on this one last question.
Okay.
We need your honest opinion here. Do you consider your thumb to be a finger?
I would say probably yeah. I would say it's a thumb, but it's still technically. I don't. I'm gonna go with yes because I have to choose an answer. I don't know why. Okay,
Yeah.
what would you do?
What would I do?
It's a phalange, no?
I would say if your thumb is a finger, so is your big toe.
But your big toe's a toe. It's surely it's the same principle that you're like, or you don't
I mean-
separate your big toe to the little toes. So why is your thumb not the same as a finger?
Exactly.
Because some people consider thumbs not to be a finger because they work in opposition. That's how you grip. That's what makes us. This is what makes us higher than, well, maybe, you know, and same level as chimpanzees and gorillas.
There's me literally sat there like this.
But still. Dan, thank you for participating in Quick Quizlet. Thank you for being on today. It's been great hearing about you. I still need your help, Dan. We need to get Alex to be a community leader.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they put a call out. Didn't Caroline put a call out and say like, people, if you recommend people, so we should definitely do it.
Yeah, so I'm also going to need to convince Alex because he is sworn off the entire thing.
I just got your whole amigo and amiga thing. Latinos don't care.
But that does remind me, I do need to give a shout out to someone who almost wore their Jira Life t-shirt to Team Toward Government yesterday. Tawana Thomas, if you are listening, thank you for being a Jeremiga. Yes, I had to ask Alex what the proper form of that was.
It's an amiga, yes. If you want to be but like, cause like Latinos are just Latinos, right? Even though it's the male version, but that's why we now have Latinx. So maybe it's a Migex.
Works for me. But Dan, thank you for being on.
Yeah, I
definitely looking forward to Team 24.
Yes, yeah, I will. I will definitely speak to you soon, Rodney. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me, and I will definitely see you all at Team.
All right, and as always, we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, and Rodney, the Jira Guy, Nissen. You can find Alex on YouTube at 8Tech Tutorials, and Rodney's blog is found over at thejiraguy.com. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lena Ortiz. You can catch us live as we record this podcast every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and our other Jira Amigos of the Peanut Gallery every week to ask your questions, let us know your comments, and just tell us what you're up to. But if you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay over on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. We're also available as a podcast over on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you listen to it and think it deserves a rating, we would very much appreciate it, as it will help others discover the Jira life. Because we didn't choose the Jira life. The Jira life chose us.